The heat is on the street, inside your head, on every beat, 'cause the heat is on. The heat is on almost every other night, meaning every other night I'm forced to watch them, and I almost can't take it anymore, literally. Like, especially tonight, I was at the basketball courts after work, like I am almost every night, and the runs have been great lately, by the way. Quick little tangent. I really want to start filming some of the games, but it gets so crowded. It'd be so hard to set up a tripod with my camera or even my phone to be more safe. It gets too crowded, with people walking back and forth. I don't want a ball to hit it. I don't want someone to jack my phone and run, so that's been the big reason I haven't started filming some of these games. But maybe on the weekends when it gets a little more dead, maybe I'll set up the tripod, film some half court just to get some other kind of content out there, because I'm sick of watching Miami Heat basketball, really. And I think it'd be fun to record some of the games and let y'all see me hoop a little bit. I even bought one of those mics that those assholes be wearing. All those pickup YouTubers that wear the mic on their shirt and they're talking shit to everybody and they think they're good and they're really not good. They just foul everybody. Yeah, I bought one of those mics. Not to talk trash to people, just to kind of hear some of the funny commentary while we play, because I'm friends with all the regulars out there, and it's funny. It's a good time. I think the mic would pick up some good moments, so it'd be fun to be mic'd up. So maybe y'all will start to see some content for that, because like I said, I'm tired of talking Heat basketball. As I started saying, I got home about 8:15, right? And usually how I experience Heat games is I'll get home about 8:15. So on a normal night, that's about 35 minutes after tip-off. So I'll start the game from the beginning on the DVR, skip through the commercials, and I'm pretty much caught up live by halftime, right? So I started doing that today, and in the first quarter, I'm watching Tyrese Maxey hit a three. The Heat have a dumb turnover. Tyrese Maxey hits another three, and I'm like, you know what? What is the point of me sitting here watching this game when I'm already an hour and 15 minutes late since tip-off, because tonight was even an earlier start in Philadelphia. It was a 7 o'clock tip here instead of a 7:30 tip. So I'm like, what the hell am I doing watching this game? I said, I'm going to check the live score, and if the Heat are down double digits, I'm just not going to watch the first half. I'm just going to put the game on live and watch the rest of the game that way. And sure enough, they were down 13 when I checked. So I did something I never do. And I just didn't watch the first half, most of the second quarter. I saw most of the first quarter, and Tyrese going crazy, Joel Embiid looking unstoppable. So I saw most of that, but I just said, you know what? What's the point of watching the second quarter when it's the same thing every single game after game after game, right? But then I turned the game on in the third quarter. Only a couple of minutes had passed. And when I turned it on, the Heat were down 13, I believe. And then Bam Adebayo hit a three. And then Bam Adebayo hit another three. And then Tyler Herro took a transition three. I'm thinking, what are you doing, Tyler? Give the ball back to Bam. And then Tyler hit that three. And then Tyler hit another three. And then they give it to Bam. Bam hit another three. He took the lead. And I'm thinking, thank y'all, or y'all welcome, Heat Nation, I guess, right? Because as soon as I turn the game on live, the Heat are looking unstoppable. They erased that 13-point deficit in minutes. And I'm starting getting hype. I'm saying, okay, I made the right choice. I get to watch this part live, and I don't have to sit through Tyrese Maxey cooking you in the first half, right? And then as soon as the Heat took the lead, it was a Philadelphia three-pointer. It was a Philadelphia and one. And that's all it was all game today. Every time the game got close, it was just a dagger by Philadelphia right in your heart. It's not even like the Heat could sort of maintain, okay, we got the lead back, now let's sort of maintain, have a back and forth game the rest of the game. It was no, here's a 76er 7-0 run to go back up 7. It's like, damn, bro, y'all can't sustain any type of defense for a Heat team that somehow statistically is still top 5 defensively. They can't stop nobody as of late. But yet somehow they were still going another run. They'd kept chipping away. And then, there's another Kelly Oubre 3. There's a campaign 3. Two guys who just piss me off when they hit threes because, one, Heat Nation doesn't like Kelly Oubre Jr. because he took out Jimmy Butler. That was our last final chance to go on some playoff run, and Kelly Oubre ripped that away from us. And then I hate when Campaign hits threes because he looks like a chipmunk shooting like this. He looks like how we used to shoot in elementary school when you weren't strong enough to shoot a basketball and you shoot it like this. What the hell is that? What kind of form is that? They just picked this dude Campaign off the side of the street and he's out here hit. I understand Campaign, has had some nice moments in this league, but he wasn't on a team a week ago and now you got him. He's out there. He's hitting threes to give Philly the lead. Like, come on, dude. Regardless, though, we still had a close game, right? We were in a clutch game, and I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what we saw in that clutch time. We saw the Miami Heat lose to a team that was better than them. That's what I realized. It's as simple as that, right? Because the Miami Heat are just not that good. That's what I've come to realize 60 games into the season is the Miami Heat are not that good, right? Sometimes we can sit here and be tricked because, oh, look, they beat Cleveland tonight. Oh, they beat Detroit tonight. You know, oh, they had a close battle with Oklahoma City Thunder. This Heat team can kind of hang with anybody, right? But here's the thing. You don't judge a team by who they beat on a random night. It's the NBA. It's all professionals. On any given night, any team could win or lose to anybody, right? How you got to judge a team is how they perform in the clutch, because that's when the best players shine. That's when the best coaches stand out. That's when the best teams try hard and say, you know what? We made it here to clutch time. We were kind of playing a little lackadaisical in the first 3 quarters. Now it's winning time. Let's show the other team what we can do. And this Miami Heat team is one of the worst clutch teams in the entire NBA. One of the worst clutch offenses, which we've seen tonight. We certainly seen the last game against Milwaukee. Went the last 6.5 minutes without getting a field goal in that game. And then you saw that tonight. And then, of course, defensively as well. They can't seem to get the big stop whenever they need to get the big stop. So if they're losing all these clutch time games, that just tells me they're not that good a team. Because even if you want to go to the fourth quarter stat now, where after this game now, the Miami Heat are 1-23 when they enter the fourth quarter down in a deficit. Do you know how bad you have to be 1-23 out of 24 games this season where the Heat were down entering the fourth quarter? They only won one of them. And it's not like you got blown out all those games. Sure, some of them you got blown out. But for a lot of times, the Heat were just down. It would end up being a clutch game, and then they would lose the clutch game. Hence the Heat's 1-24 record when trailing, now 1-23 record, I think, when entering the fourth quarter while in a deficit. Because they're just not that good a team. And if you want to look at why they're losing these games, look at the difference in shot quality amongst these two teams. You know, I want to give Bam and Tyler some credit. They certainly had some great moments today, especially in that run to start the third quarter. Tyler Herro also hit some really huge buckets in the fourth quarter, but when it came down to the final 2 minutes, he was settling for tough, deep fadeaway threes. Because as much as I love Tyler Herro, the truth of the matter is he struggles greatly trying to get past his man. He does not bode well against quicker athletic guards because his handle isn't clean enough and he's not super quick. And he's a little small, so if you put someone big on him, he kind of gets manhandled by their size too. That's why Tyler Herro's out there settling for a fadeaway three-pointer. It's just an ill-advised shot, but that's all he could get off. And he's the only one scoring. So it's like, okay, I want Tyler to force it. He's the only one I trust out there. You got Jaime Jaquez smacking the side of the backboard on every three he takes. He can't shoot for shit. I'm sorry, Jaime, but you can't shoot at all. So it's like, okay, I want Tyler to shoot, but then at the same time, he's not athletic enough to get past his man. Now, contrary to Tyler Herro's fadeaway three from 25 feet out, you got Tyrese Maxey, gets the matchup on Tyler Herro, blows right past him with ease. The Heat have to double, kick out to Joel Embiid, wide open three in the corner, dagger. That's your ball game, you know? Same thing on repeat. Tyrese blow by, get to the floater. Tyrese blow by, kick out to Kelly Oubre Jr. wide open, you know? And that's because Tyrese Maxey is a star, a true star, a perennial all-star, a borderline superstar. I don't know if I'm ready to say that, but he's a star. You know, Tyler Herro is a guy who had a great first half of the regular season last year, made the All-Star game, and, you know, came back down to earth a little bit after that. He's still a great player, but there's just levels to this, and that's kind of what I'm trying to point out here. There's levels between Tyler Herro and Tyrese Maxey. There's levels between Bam Adebayo and Joel Embiid, obviously, you know. Even though Bam really played awesome today, and he probably outplayed Embiid for stretches, and that's not the first time that's happened. I actually really like when Bam matches up against Embiid. For the most part, Bam does a great job, you know, kind of containing Embiid better than anyone else in the NBA. Even Embiid today didn't even check into like the last minutes of clutch time, because who knows what his situation is with his health. How many minutes did Embiid play today? Embiid finished today with 31 minutes. You know, he had 26 and 11, so he played well. But yeah, Bam had 29 and 14, you know, 50% shooting, you know. Embiid was only 40%. So from a statistical standpoint, it's even more clear. Bam sort of outplayed Embiid today. But you understand there's levels to this. If it's late in the game and you said, hey, I need a bucket, you could say, Joel Embiid, here's the ball, go get us a bucket. That's not something you can necessarily say with Bam Adebayo. He's done it before. Shit, I mean, Bam's got what, like 4 game-winning field goals at the buzzer, so he's certainly done it before, But you understand, in a clutch time, hey, Embiid, here's the ball. Get us a jump hook. Easy layup. Get us to the free throw line. Get us a couple of free throws. It's a lot more easy for Embiid to go get you a bucket than it is for Bam Adebayo, who has been a lot more jump shot dependent, And on nights like tonight where he's hitting his three, today Bam finished 4 of 8 from 3. I think he was actually 4 or 5 from 1 point, so he missed his last 3, but it's kind of the point, right? When he's hitting it, it looks well. When he's not hitting it, he doesn't have that much else to go to, Because even today, Bam Adebayo, he did get to the free throw line 8 times, but only hit 5 of them, But even that attempts is a rarity. He's just not getting to the free throw line as much as a lot of other stars in the league. So that's just kind of my point is I'm not trying to, tear down the Heat guys or rag on them too much. But my point is there's levels to this, And I just think the 76ers top 2 guys are on another level than the Heat's top 2 guys. That just is what it is, The clutch time stuff was even weird, though. I thought Spoelstra's rotations were bad, as always. It was a clutch game, and Bam didn't even check in till like 3.5 minutes to go. There's no excuse to not have your 2 best players in the game for the length of clutch time. If you want to rest Bam, rest him for the first 7 minutes of the fourth quarter. Play him the last 5. He's 29 years old. He can play a little bit more than, if your rotations don't work out. He played the end of the third quarter, so he has to rest the start of the fourth for a certain amount of time. Like, I don't care. Bam played 36 minutes tonight. Play him 38 if you have to, and he plays the last 5 minutes of clutch time. It's just these are valuable minutes. I understand I'm saying, he played the last 3.5 minutes of clutch time. He should play the last 5. That's a big difference. That extra minute and a half could be 3 or 4 more possessions minimum. And it would just help a lot to have your best player out there. I just think it's ridiculous to not have both your clutch guys out there or best guys out there for the entirety of clutch time, which is the last 5 minutes of the game, in a 2-possession game or 1-possession game, I think is what they call it by NBA standards. But especially since Khalil Ware, rough one today. I think Ware himself only finished with 2 points. He ended up with 5 points. He did hit a 3 late. 5.6 rebounds for him, but he was 2 of 7 from the field, missed a few bunnies, and even after that 3 he hit, it was early in the fourth quarter or later in the fourth quarter. It was a big shot. I'm thinking, there you go, Ware, try to get going a little bit. We saw him sort of get going the start of the fourth quarter versus Milwaukee. I'm thinking maybe we're going to see it again, but then he had some bad plays, missed a couple of rebounds, missed a few defensive assignments. There was a play where the Heat finally won a jump ball. They actually won 2 today somehow. But on the second one, the Heat won the jump ball. It's right in Ware's hands because Ware did not do the jump ball. I think Pella jumped it. But Pella got the jump ball. It's right in Ware's hands. Ware bobbles it out of bounds. Philly gets possession. And that one was late in the game. So I don't think Ware was necessarily his best tonight either. But, it's fine. I still want him to kind of play and learn through these mistakes. But there's no reason for Bam to not be out there with the last five minutes. That's all I got to say. I think Spoel's rotations in general have been pretty bad. He was certainly given a rough, go of it tonight, considering Norman Powell's injury only 10 minutes into the game. We know Norman Powell was questionable going into the game with a groin injury. Ended up trying to play through it, hit a 3 early on, but then was subbed out pretty quickly. I guess he really wasn't feeling himself. But that's really, I don't have that many notes on the game in terms of the scores. I think it was a 1-point game after the first quarter, but it was like a 13-point game at halftime, double digits. But then we know the Heat went on that big run. And then it was like the Heat would tie the game, then be down 8. The Heat would tie the game, then be down 8, And then we got ourselves into clutch time where they ultimately ended up losing by 7, So it was pretty much the same cycle all throughout the game. And of course, it was a very big loss because this is a team that is in that 6th seed right now that the Miami Heat want possession of. And right now, the Heat are now 3 games back in the loss column of Philadelphia. So I do have the Heat to be in the 6th seed on FanDuel, the sponsor of today's video. And I took this screenshot right before the game ended where the Heat were plus 450. So they already had some juicy odds. But had the Heat won tonight, I would have been looking pretty because, you're 3 games back now, right? You would have been almost tied in the loss column, right? Because the Heat would have had 28 losses. Philly would have had 27. So, yeah, they would have been 1 game back, You would have got even not as good odds on this. But now I expect these to flip greatly because, what do we got? Like 22-ish games left. Of course, the Heat can certainly come back from 3 games back in the loss column, but it's hard to trust them considering when's the last time they won like 3 games in a row, this Heat team, It's hard to come back from 3 games down against someone when you can't even win 3 games in a row, So that parts of it is unfortunate. But let's run through the box score real quick here. We'll start with Pella Larson today, stuffed the stat sheet as always. 9 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and a block. 50% from the field for him. You had Andrew Wiggins today, 18 points, 50% from the field. He's been shooting well of late. I hate it too. It's like when the Heat were on that big run in the third quarter, Wiggins, the Heat hit a bunch of threes. They were in it. Wiggins had a great block on Tyrese Maxey, kind of a momentum shifting block to get it back on our side after Philly did take the lead after the Heat's run. And then, Wiggins swatted Tyrese Maxey out of bounds. And then Spoke, on the dead ball there, Spoke subs out Wiggins and brings in Simone Fontecchio. Come on, you're on a nice run here. You slipped a little bit after you took the lead. Philly went on a run, but you're keeping it close. Wiggins had the nice block, and then you bring in Fontecchio for Wiggins, who just had the nice block. Meanwhile, Fontecchio today, 3 points, 1 or 2 shooting. He didn't even play that much. He played 9 minutes. But, I don't like the rotation Spo was doing today. But Wiggins got you 18. Bam Adebayo, we talked about his 29 and 14. 3 assists and a steal for him. 10 of 20 from the field. So I am happy with his performance tonight. But unfortunately, he was a little non-existent in the fourth. Actually, I don't think he scored in the fourth quarter. He did not score in the fourth quarter at all, which is bad. I mean, when you were down big in the third, your star played like a star and was helping you come back. But if you're really a superstar, you can't just have one good quarter. You got to play well throughout the whole second half specifically. And Bam was pretty much a no-show offensively in that fourth quarter. Norman Powell got you 3 points in his 10 minutes. And then Davion Mitchell today, 3 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. 2 assists to 3 turnovers. Wow. You could probably count on one hand the amount of times Davion's had more turnovers than assists this year. Jaime today, I know I clowned him for his shooting. He was 1 of 4 today. But overall, he did have 19 points on 50% from the field. So one of his better games as of late. He's sort of been struggling to get his attempts with Norman and Herro in the lineup. But obviously, since Norman was out with the injury after the first quarter, Jaime got some more run and looked well getting to the rim. Tyler Herro today did get you 25 points and 7 assists to 2 turnovers, and he shot 50% from the field as well. So the box score looks nice for Tyler Herro. It's just, I think he's much better as the second or third scoring option on a team, not necessarily the first. Khalil Ware today, we talked about his 5.6 rebounds. He played 12 minutes. Kaspar's got you 3 points and 1 assist in 17 minutes. And Fontecchio was the only other guy that played. So no Myron Gardner today. Unfortunately, Myron's been playing, just a sprinkle of minutes. So I'd like to see him continue doing that, but just didn't get any tonight. So, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the other scores here. I don't even like to talk about these other scores because, Eric Reed does it on the broadcast. We talk about this all the time, but why even mention that the Magic are tied right now with the Rockets with 5 minutes to go? Who cares about the Magic? The Magic could lose every game the rest of the year, and if the Heat lose every game too, then it doesn't matter because right now the Magic are above the Heat. So you got to win your games, Miami. They didn't do that tonight. Anyways, the Miami Heat do play again on Saturday against the Houston Rockets at 3:30. So a bit of a early afternoon or late afternoon tip-off for your Miami Heat on Saturday. But I will be watching, unfortunately. If y'all don't want to watch, at least tune into my postgame so you can see what happened. And to be honest, whether the Heat win or lose, it won't matter because after tonight's loss, they're likely in the play-in either way. Right now on FanDuel, they're minus 270 to make the play-in, and that's probably going to get even larger. But let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. Very curious to hear what y'all think. Also, make sure to like and subscribe because I'm on the grind to hit 9,000 subs. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out, y'all.
Look, pull up in your city trying to get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.